Hi, welcome to another video on my Raspberry Pi running Raspbian Linux. Streaming almost live video with only 4 seconds delay. Some electronics on a breadboard, 3 LEDs and a motor. In a long-lasting attempt to get the motor controlled by pulse width modulation. And the problem right now is that yes, I have a motor running, but despite the nice program, which isn't running, as you can see, because it is here on command line and press and enter has not been pressed yet, the motor runs. So it runs just on power. And where the software pulse width modulation was working very well, controlling an LED. It didn't work on the motor. Then it was advised to use hardware pulse width modulation for a motor, and that didn't work on the LED, but neither does it work on this motor, which is supposed to be controlled or able to be controlled by pulse width modulation. And this whole program is supposed to be, let's say, change the speed, anything, whatever, but unless I have gotten it all wrong in my mind, it is not working. So would it be used to go back to RaspberryPi, because here I have found RaspberryPi in a Python wrapper, and to use that, because the RaspberryPi controlling the LED is written in C and I am using Python. So is this a good idea? I don't know, to be honest. If I look here, and yes, that is the page that I've used and shown before, pulse width modulation via DMA, well, you can read yourself. So what is the best way to proceed? This is no servo motor, so this part is absolutely of no use. What I am doing is this. Is this useful? Well, so far it hasn't shown to be. If I look once again through the code, and then I mean the example and not my own code, I do say PWM setup and init channel. Am I doing the same? Well, I am going to my own code. I say PWM setup init channel. So yes, in that sense I am doing the same. Oh, let's not forget, from RPIO import PWM. From RPIO import PWM. Another thing would or could be that I am conflicting with import RPIO. So let me look at the rest. I have actually commented out anything else. So if I comment out this, I have to import time because I'm using time on several places, including this one. Then GPIO, set mode, BCM. Can I forget about it? I do think so, for now. Because that was right here in this place. And this part is PWM in capitals, clear channel, etc., which is also in here. This line. So going back again, I think it is safe. What am I doing now? I think it is safe when I comment all these GPIO lines out. And let's see what happens just then. Right, so I have changed the program, but the motor is already running. So the best that can happen now is that the motor slows down or speeds up, whatever. Right now it is already running on quite some speed. So let's just start the program and observe what is going on. And to be honest, I don't really see any difference. It is just running as slow or as fast as it was. And I don't like that. And sometimes the video feed is a bit slow, despite the 4 seconds delay. But if you look here, and yes, you see it with a few seconds delay, but there's no change whatsoever. No change. So let me just quit the program. Clear channel 0. Alright. That is one failed attempt. Then here you see that this isn't changing. The 50 doesn't change. 0 changes into 100, etc. Well, that's exactly what I did. Let me go back here. I change this and this doesn't change, and then here the same and it changes again. So would there be any how can I say that nicely? Would there be any possibility to run 2 different pulses modulations at the same time? Since they both can be used in Python, one controlling the LEDs and the other one hopefully the motor, but the motor has shown to be not controllable. On the other hand, the problem is also looking at my Arduino Mega project, if you have been following that, you will know that I have been able to control the speed of the motor stepwise, not gradually, by altering the frequency. Also by voltage, but certainly also by frequency. So why isn't that possible here? That is a big problem. That is a big question. What is the difference in pulse width modulation? So I can let this run, of course, because if you look at the wiring, one wire is from here. This red wire is output from the transistor, which is here. And this wire is from the plus, and am I pointing to the at the right one? Not quite sure, by the way, but no, I think I should will be this one going straight up. So this is the plus and this is the output. Another thing is, of course, I put it in because I wanted to measure the frequency, and I think that will be a very nice idea to once again do that. See if there is any change what I've overlooked last time. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do before it gets too boring. Alright, I will probably have done it before, but I will measure the frequency. So let me put the multimeter somewhere here. And then start the program. That's very nice to do if I want to do something. Now let me first measure the frequency before I start the program. And it says 100 Hertz. Just 100 Hertz. At least it did when I first put the probe on. Now it's about 10 Hertz and lower. So now it's 100 Hertz again, 120 Hertz, Hertz, back to 110, then 100 Hertz and 90 Hertz. But considering the range in the program, with the fourth number in the between the brackets from 0 to 1500, I would expect something very different. So with this result, I think I'm going to take the gamble and try to implement the software version as well and see if they bite or not. If they don't bite, an LED is going to be controlled, yeah, which is this one. Pointing my finger at it. Yeah, well, that's the delay. Well, I assume this one is going to be controlled, and whatever else. So let's just see how that will work, and then I have to go here, and this will be RaspberryPi. Now the question is, of course, I already have RaspberryPi installed, but which version is it? Readme.txt. There is no. Oh, that's a bummer. There is no. Version. That's what I'm looking for. It is already 2.32. Very nice. 2.32. So what I have to do is import RaspberryPi. I can just do it like this. That should be no problem whatsoever. So let's do it. Alright. Going up. Then here import RaspberryPi. Then here RaspberryPi dot RaspberryPi setup, and I have to do it exactly like it is set there. Oh, I can better just copy it. Setup and then GPIO. And then for the GPIO numbering, which is very good. So, and then when I use this one, I will know if it works or not, if it works at the same time, because I will have to use different pin numbers since 7 is already used. Pin 11 is already used for the for the hardware, so I can use this for software. Am I talking sense? No, not 6. Not 6, because 6 is... Oh, that is strange. GPIO pin numbering. Anyway, this is the way to go. Alright, time for some explanation. So this is the RaspberryPi setup, and this is the command to indicate which setup to use. There is GPIO and there is sys. There's a main difference. If you use GPIO, you are going to use this numbering. So if you call if you use sys, you are using this numbering. If you use GPIO, you use this numbering. So with GPIO 6, you use actually pin 31. And since I have been using for a long time now the actual pin numbering, I am going to use sys, which indicates that I will be using this, and for that reason I am using pin 7, which is the actual pin numbering 7, which would be GPIO 4. Sounds rather confusing, I hope it's not. So I hope that with this piece of code this LED, which I rewired directly to pin 7, so it's no longer connected here, that this LED will burn for 1 second and go off, because that would indicate that I actually control it using wiring PI. If not, I have to rethink. So let's do another attempt, but I have to first go here. So this is what I have to start, this is what I have to save, and now let's see whatever happens. Big bang or smooth working. No module named wiring PI. Yeah, right, because it is in wiring PI. Oh, that's a nice one. Wiring PI. Wiring PI. In this directory, it is called wiring PI with again capital, but also with a slash. So let's go there again. Wiring PI. Then there is it should be all here. Did I make a mistake? I hope not. So let's go again. No module named. Alright, what did I do wrong? Going back here. Sudo python setup pi install, but I already did that. I did that quite some time ago actually. So it should work. Should I do it again? Sudo python setup py install. Let me try it again. What do I have here? Nothing. And this is a bummer. Sudo python setup pi setup pi. Do I have a setup pi? No, not in here. And so you see things can go wrong in unexpected ways. And I don't see any setup py here either. All S, but no setup. Ouch. And I know I installed it correctly. Because if I look here, no, this is, oh wait a minute, I installed it for C, I did not install it for Python. Big difference. So yeah, I have to do that. I still have to do it to install it for Python. In the last part of this video, I am going to try if my attempts to install RaspberryPi for Python, and it has taken a lot. Finding out, trying out, etc. Anyway, if that has helped in doing something. So, this is still what you see, just with a delay of 4 seconds approximately. Now it goes on this LED. So with some luck, if this works and if this works, who knows what happens. But so far, and let me see if I can get this. And I have to say it doesn't really work yet, to my regrets. So what do I have to do then? Is the voltage enough? That's a good question. I had to shield it. By the way, I can also do this. Turn the light away. But it doesn't really work. It really does not work. So I am going to measure the voltage. The voltage over the LED. And for that I put this again for the mass. There you see it. I hook up the mass probe. Now I have to switch the multimeter to 12 volts maximum, and then probe for the voltage. Which is right now 0. But it should do something on in the moment that there is the signal written high. But so far I'm not seeing anything. So I am going to interrupt the program, and I say, okay, make it 3 seconds. Wait for it and see what happens. Well, I'm not sure whatever happens. Measuring again. Does anything happen at all? I don't see anything happen. On the multimeter, nothing. And the LED, nothing. But I do see another thing. The wire may have gone loose, so I have to put in the wire again. Into pin 7. And what happens then? Now it says 1.74. But do I see some light? It definitely goes high for 3 seconds. Or is it? Yeah. So the question is, how many volts does it need? There's definitely power on it. But it doesn't do a thing. Anyway, enough for now. The motor, well, is kind of not working. Not the way I want. The pulse width modulation on the LED. And then I am talking about this pulse width modulation. Not proven yet. So I still have some checkout etc. to do, and I will do that next time. So far, thank you for watching. If you like this video, please, if you haven't subscribed yet, please do so. Otherwise, I have Twitter and Instagram as well. If you would like this to continue, please consider to visit my website to find directions how you can make a small donation. And this is obviously going to be continued. So, bye bye.